listening to You're listening to Opie.
Yeah, we're very excited that
You're listening to Anthony on the virus Sirius XM.
Newt Gingrich is on our phone. Thank you for calling, sir.
glad to do it.
Very.
How are you all doing?
I'm so tired. I should be in a tire store.
Yeah, holiday or a Halloween weekend was a little taxing on everybody, but I hear you have a book out, sir.
No.
Yeah, we do. We have a brand new book out as of today, actually, called Breakout. And in fact, we're going to be in Ridgewood, New Jersey tonight at 7 o'clock at Bookends for our first book signing in the Northeast.
So do people go down there and they get the book signed and they get to meet you and whatnot, things of that nature?
My wife, Calista, will be there with her book, The Yankee Doodle Dandy, which is for 4 to 8 year olds. So we're sort of covering the waterfront.
Little kid's book there.
Sure.
But Breakout basically describes how you can use science and technology and entrepreneurship to get out of the mess in Washington and get us back to being the most dynamic economy in the world. And in that sense, I think it's a very timely, important message.
Well, it certainly is. I've noticed of late, the past few years, America doesn't seem like that powerhouse we used to be, and it's depressing, downright depressing to watch. And there doesn't seem to be a light at the tunnel there, at the end of the tunnel there, Newt.
My mother said that Chipper will go to hell in a handbasket.
Hell in a handbasket is a good way to put it. What do you think?
I think that if we allow the current system in Washington to dominate, we have a very bleak future. But I think we have the opportunity to create new choices and new opportunities. And I think what Breakout tries to do is lay out for you how real this is and how powerful it is.
What's one of the most important things that needs to be done to turn this around?
Well, I think the important thing is to recognize that all across America, there are pioneers of the future,
and Canada.
whether it's in regenerative medicine or it's in self-driving cars or it's in online education or just area after area where we see exciting new things happening. And the government's not responsive. I mean, take the Obamacare website.
Oh, please.
And then
That's crashing.
So go to Amazon, go to eBay, go to Google, go to Wikipedia, and ask yourself, why is it that they get it right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the federal government spends hundreds of millions of dollars and can't get it to work.
It's because I don't trust the government to do anything as far as if you had a private business that was based on web commerce and it was down for a month since their launch, they'd have cleaned house in there. They'd have fired everybody.
My mother says they're nuttier than a bunch of fruitcakes out there, Chip, but they're not doing their jobs right.
Exactly, Chip.
She's a wonderful woman.
So I'm trying to figure out. You know, I understand what you're saying and what your book is saying about turning this around and stuff.
Sure.
But I don't think we have enough time. I think the way the government's going these days, we're in dire straits here, is what I see. And I don't see.
But look, when you go to the state level, watch the size of Chris Christie's victory tomorrow. Here's a guy who went to Trenton in a very blue state, surrounded by government employee unions. And he has made a real difference. Look at Scott Walker in Wisconsin, who's made a real difference, or John Kasich in Ohio, or Rick Perry in Texas.
Well, what about John Kerry? He was going to run for president.
No, Chip. Don't pay no attention to Chip there, Newt. He's
Well, I'm an optimist because I think you gain energy by finding good leaders and by doing things that are smart. And I think that there are lots of people in America who are genuinely pioneers of the future, but they run into these prison guards of the past, whether they're lobbyists, bureaucrats, politicians. And that's what the fight's all about. Are we going to be a country trapped in the past, or are we going to be a country that breaks out and once again creates a great future?
What about battery cars and things of that nature? My mother said that they're going to take the gas companies and really take them to the woodshed.
Well, he's talking about technology.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
Sure. Well, look, I think you're going to see a lot of, first of all, if you look at the price of gas in Midlands, Texas.
Oh, my God, it's higher than it's ever been, Chipper. That's what my mother says.
Let Mr. Gingrich finish his sentence, please.
If you look at the development of natural gas and oil production,
natural gas.
We're now the number one producer in the world. which 10 years ago people would have told you was impossible. And in Midlands, Texas, yesterday, the price of gasoline had dropped to $2.89.
Oh, that's reasonable.
I ran my campaign saying we could get it down to $2.50, and people thought I was crazy. But it is literally $2.89 today in Midlands, Texas. So you have to ask yourself, how much of the additional price you're paying in your state is taxes, state taxes, and to what extent does the government make it all a lot more expensive?
Well, absolutely they do. But I see things like technology and the oil industry, refining, even natural gas with fracking and whatnot.
Watch your language.
Stop it. I see it being obstacles being put up at every turn with this administration. They don't seem to be a very proactive administration when it comes to our own natural resources and letting that.
Well, no, they're just
sure.
I think the Budget Conference Committee, for example, want to raise the question: how would you like to have an extra $59 billion?
I love that.
By opening up federal lands. I mean, we don't have to raise taxes. Just let us develop our own natural resources, and you get billions of dollars of additional revenue.
Well, I don't think this administration knows what "don't have to raise taxes" means, sir. They
are sort of addicted to.
Yes.
They know the right answer is raise taxes. They just don't know what the question is.
Raise taxes. Take people that are productive members of this society that actually work for a living and make them the villains and penalize them for achieving the American dream.
I had a shirt that said, just when I know all the answers, they change the question.
That's a great shirt, Chip. Jesus. Mr. Gingrich, where are you going to be again this?
He already said it, Ridgewood. Well, he's signing a bunch of books.
He should plug again. He's very.
We're going to be at Bookends, which is a great bookstore. We'll be there at 7:30 tonight.
Cool.
And it is at 211 Ridgewood Avenue in Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Do you think that the problem is that nobody's buying gas like they used to? Because my mother said that, Chip, people are carpooling and whatnot and things of that nature.
People are smart, and if you raise the price of something, they try to find ways to avoid using it. I mean, that's basic common sense.
Yeah, my mother says walk or take the bus.
No,
Chipper.
alternate power sources, I think, is...
What about the sun? Why don't we use that? It's like we always use other, how about the sun for power? That's not crazy, is it?
Well, I think solar power is coming down the road, and you see some places using more and more of it. But in the short run, meaning the next 50 years, you're still going to get...
That's a long time.
No, it's not.
Of your fuel is going to come from natural gas and oil.
I think
I'm good at producing that.
I think human beings and Americans mostly, when we're faced with a challenge, that's when we come to the table. If for some reason we truly were running out of fossil fuels, we would be amazing in coming up with a viable alternative.
Yeah,
we're just not very proactive, but we do come to the table when we have to.
And I think, of course, what's happened is people invented the new technology of fracturing and hydraulic drilling, and all of a sudden you had a tremendous increase in the amount of natural gas and the amount of oil available in the U.S., which people would have told you 10 years ago was impossible. And the whole point of my book, Breakout, is that you can go to almost every field and you'll find pioneers of the future who are creating things that people would have thought was impossible.
Exactly.
And what we need a political generation that tries to learn from these people who are developing the future, because we could have a much more dramatic increase in jobs and in take-home pay and in opportunity.
And that's bad, right?
Out of the way.
Exactly, Mr. Gingrich. That's what I've been saying for years now.
You never said that.
Yes, I have. It's why can't the government nurture these innovators and people that are productive instead of making people dependent on the government so they can make sure they get the votes the next time around.
Yeah, they all want to get voted in or something.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think the very path that destroyed Detroit was exactly what you described.
Oh, yes.
Politicians who want you dependent on them, so you need them, so you'll reelect them.
Right.
And what it does in the long run is it destroys the economy.
Absolutely.
Detroit's not good. My mother goes there once in a while, and she said, Chipper, it's falling apart.
It is falling apart.
Hell in a handbasket.
All right. Mr. Gingrich, thank you so much for checking in. I'm sure you're a busy man.
Do you think that they're going to keep raising taxes, yes or no?
No, I think we're going to beat them, and we're going to attack lower taxes.
I hope so. We really got to jump in there next year and
jump like a bunch of Mexican jumping beans or something.
And take this from him. Make him a true lame duck president.
Lame duck. What is that? A meal at a restaurant or something?
Again, Newt Gingrich. The name of the book.
What's that? I don't have no books.
Breakout. Thanks so much for calling.
And you're going to be signing the book in Ridgewood, New Jersey, at the Ridgewood Bookstore,
New Jersey. Take care, Mr. Gingrich. Thanks. I will never be able to just talk to these people. God. Oh, Chip.
Well, I'm not a big Newt fan.
I know you're not.
But I'm not going to be I'll be silly with it, but I'm not going to be a complete dick.
He got his message out there. What are we, fucking Hannity over here?
Oh, do you know who should have talked to him? Craig Schenkel.
No, because then I would have cursed. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Craig Schenkel.
It's a real conundrum, Mr. Gingrich.
Shink about it.
Shink about it. If everybody just chipped and did their job or something, people would have like that's Chip Schenkel. Sometimes they meld in my head. So it's what's a conundrum or something?
Conundrum.
How about a conundrum gonna do it?
Sirius XM, the virus. You're listening to Anthony.